Look out, Hollywood celebrities. There's a new wrinkle in the Rob Reiner tragedy in which his son Nick is alleged to have deleted both parents. And that is, Nick was in a hurry to hire one of the meanest, baddest, and most expensive defense attorneys out there. And today, we're wondering where the money came from and how many celebrities, including Conan O'Brien, just might have to take the stand. Hello, folks, and welcome back. It is a pleasure, as always, to have you as we endeavor to explain Holly Weird. No, it's not a fun topic, but it is the kind of topic we must discuss because it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, there's a trial on the horizon that could overshadow what we even saw in the O.J. Simpson situation. Amber Heard? Never heard of her. This one could be a true circus. We'll explain why, details, and new info. Click the like button, and here we go. Well, Hollywood is on trial, ladies and gentlemen, and it's about to get really wild. Nick Reiner's defense lawyer ain't cheap, but worth every penny in this deletion case, the legal experts say. This is out of Fox News. Nick Reiner, the son of Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, who he took out. Of course, they are, they were his elderly parents. Took them out while they were asleep. I mean, this is just vicious. Started at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, apparently. This is going to get ugly real fast for Hollywood in ways that we perhaps didn't even see coming. Nick Reiner faces a double deletion charge as a high-profile attorney takes the case. Let's read this one, folks, and we'll tell you what it means. Attorney Matt Murphy is shedding light on the man representing Nick Reiner, who faces double deletion charges for allegedly taking out his parents, Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle. Now, I think at this point, there's little doubt that he did this. The question is going to be, can he get off the charges somehow? And what we've been told is it's almost impossible to plead insanity at this point because of what happened at the Christmas party. We'll talk about that in just a minute. In a recent interview with Fox News Digital, Murphy called Nick's defense lawyer, and I'm going to say this with a little bit of humor, okay? Because it's a topic that needs humor, because it's humorless and it's awful, it's terrible. So a wink and a nod, folks. The defense lawyer's name is Alan Jackson, not the country singer. But Alan Jackson, not the country singer, is an immensely talented trial lawyer who is in his prime right now, according to the sources at Fox News. He's famous, of course, for the Karen Reed case, which, in this attorney's opinion, was evidence against her was overwhelming, and Mr. Alan Jackson, not the country singer, put his talents on full display for the whole country to see. Alan Jackson, not the country singer, famously defended Karen Reed, who was accused of hitting her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her car and leaving him to perish during a snowstorm. She maintained her innocence throughout two criminal trials, the first ending in a hung jury before ultimately being found not guilty of what she did in the second trial. So Nick Reiner is partnering up with Alan Jackson, not the country singer, to defend him. And this, folks, is not cheap. And there are some questions here that need to be asked. First of all, how many of the celebrities that were at the party now are going to be called to testify? I mean, this is going to turn into a circus, and it very easily could be something that's televised. We'll see, but it's Hollywood. You know how that plays out. So you could see people like Conan O'Brien be forced to take the stand and explain why. Allegedly, he would not allow people to call the police if that's what he did, in fact, or is he being thrown under the bus? We don't know. But there's another question to this beyond just the Hollywood circus that's about to happen. And that is, where's this money coming from? Folks, what we know about Nick Reiner, Rob Reiner, and Michelle Reiner's son is that he's kind of a bum. He's an unsuccessful loser. And that's not just because of what he allegedly did. He was apparently, staying at their house, slumming and mooching off of them, and he would stay there until he got kicked out. He hasn't been successful in his careers. Who is paying for him to have one of the most expensive attorneys of all time? And that brings us to a question that it's not illegal, but it's definitely an ethical crime. The question is, will Nick Reiner create a Hollywood circus where people like Conan O'Brien and Jane Fonda have to take the stand? Will Nick Reiner do that with one of the most expensive attorneys of all time, using his parents' money after he deleted them, allegedly? This is all kinds of awful culture. Your thoughts on this situation? I mean, this is just, it's getting grosser and grosser. And I don't know where the money is coming from unless this trust fund baby is using his parents' money to get off trying to delete them, and successfully so.
with the support that's been voiced by his siblings, or people that may or may not be related to him. I don't know what all the children in the family are.
They've offloaded the blame, right, Culture? They've tried to say that the mental health profession is to blame, not him.
Right. So my guess is the estate is going to be the people writing the checks. For now, it's, with the whoever's in charge of the estate. Lord forbid it would be him to be the executor in this terrible circumstance. I believe that would be legally challenged 3 ways to Sunday by anybody that had a vested interest in their, them still being alive. But like you said, my guess is it's the estate that are going to be writing the checks to defend this man for doing what he did to allegedly to his parental units. First of all, I can find his actions reprehensible, but he does deserve a day in court. I just don't think it's going to go terribly well, and I think Hollywood is going to be involved in a bigger circus than anybody has a tent for.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this is, I don't think people understand what we're on the cusp of in terms of like the media coverage that could happen. You're talking about, we have been told that this was everybody who's everybody in Hollywood was at this Christmas party. And we're told that Nick Reiner acted insane, but not like, I'm not using that word in a mental way. I'm saying his behaviors were atrocious. He acted in a way that caused people to fear for his father. And then the allegation, we're not sure it's true or not, is that Conan O'Brien tried to stop them from calling the police. We don't know if that's true or not. I need to put up this super chat. We don't normally do this during a segment, but Bucky Cat is on to exactly where I'm going. $4.99. Turns out there were numerous LAPD service calls to the Reiner home over the past several years, allegedly due to Nick's behavior. This is a very strange situation where they call this, what do they call it? Guys, what is the official term for when you end your parents'
patricide?
Patricide, that's right. This is double patricide, but this is made all the worse if he uses their money to try to get himself off the hook for this. And listen, I know, Culture, you say that this is, could go badly for him, and maybe it will. But it also could be that he gets this Alan Jackson, not a country singer, attorney, and they get a hung jury or something in California. Stranger things have happened in California. And that would be awful to do this, to use then the victim's money to save yourself and ride off in the sunset.
Yeah, fortunately, I don't think he owns a white Bronco.
Yeah, well, not that again. Not that again, eh? Lauren, the Conan O'Brien Christmas party people are still silent, and that's why I know or believe this is a real thing in terms of a lot of somebodies are saying it's shut up time, right? If nothing happened at the party, we'd be hearing a lot more. There's not been a squeak. Conan O'Brien, as far as I know, will not speak about this. None of the others, and these are the A-listers of Hollywood. I think this is going to get ugly real soon.
Well, yeah, and I mean, the smart move at this point is to say nothing. If you say nothing, then you can't get in trouble for what you said. I think their lawyers have absolutely told them, clam up, wait to see if you're subpoenaed. If you're subpoenaed, say only what you have to say. Don't volunteer anything, because doing otherwise is a surefire way to cause all kinds of trouble.
You want to get, let's get into the real deranged territory for a minute, guys. And I hate to do this, but we need to cover this accurately. We need to do so. Fox News is reporting that Alan Jackson, not the country singer, that this high-powered, top-of-the-top defense attorneys in the country, shortly after the parents were taken out, that he was there at the scene to receive a visceral sense of what happened. Now, we don't know if he was there during the crime scene. We don't know if he was allowed there, what have you. But there is the indication at this point that Nick Reiner quickly picked this guy up. I mean, so quickly that shortly after, the defense attorney could be there to get a feel for this so that he can talk the jury through it when the pictures happen. And we know those pictures are going to be absolutely awful. We also know that apparently the crime scene was not well managed, because we've heard rumors that people like Billy Crystal and his wife were there even before the police arrived. The question becomes, did Nick Reiner line this up to have this guy? Did he get the funds to have this guy so that after the parents are deleted, this attorney is there to check out what's happened and get a feel for it. We're getting into really, really deranged and disgusting behavior.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he took on this case pro bono. This is a public relations bonanza. This is a high-profile case that's going to get him a lot of attention. So I'm not sure that the money is the thing, but he's definitely going to want those guests from the party talking, because every witness is going to see something differently. It's the same thing that you run into when you play a game of telephone, when you have two people that have been at the same place at the same time describing the same events, but in their story, it falls out differently because they perceived things differently. That's what this lawyer is going to be trying to do. He's going to try and kick up all of this dust about what happened at the party and have all of these people contradict each other to introduce doubt in the minds of a jury of what even happened. And any doubt that can be generated is going to work to Nick's defense. So he'd be doing his job in that case.
What happens in terms of the media? What happens if this is televised? If the trial is televised, and there are arguments for and against that, but if it's televised, maybe there's a judge out there that wants to be famous, and this would definitely make them so. What happens if it's televised and you've got this guy, one of the most vicious defense attorneys in the nation, cross-examining Conan O'Brien, Jane Fonda, Bill Hader, and a lot of other A-listers all there, and maybe even family members? What happens?
Do you remember the dancing Idos?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
That's what you get.
Yeah, that was a different. That was so localized to just the late shows at that point, and I will say this is much more vicious than what the OJ trial was, and the last time we had a major celebrity trial, it was a civil litigation. It was not anything with real stakes. It was Amber Heard and Johnny Depp having a spat with lots of weird details coming out that, it was their trouble, but there was nothing in there that there was no tragedy involved, anything other than relationship tragedy. This one, in the meme age, in the internet age, I'm a little horrified at what this will actually produce on the internet, because Rob Reiner, I think he will be remembered for his career and not for his politics, unless this defense attorney ends up going into places that I don't think anyone really wants him to go, other than Nick Reiner. So, well, I'm afraid he's horrified at how this is all going to play out.
I'm afraid that Rob Reiner is going to be remembered for having been deleted now, and not for his works. And the reason for that is, how many people care that OJ was in Roots now? You only know OJ for one thing.
Yeah.
Well, OJ was around after the trial to make himself look a fool.
Yes.
For a long time.
So I think this is going to, if this goes to trial, and people need to understand this, because nobody seemingly is talking about it at the level that it should be talked about. If this goes to trial, and if it's televised, this might be bigger than the OJ trial. With the kind of people they're going to have to be there, testifying, on the stand, maybe brought to tears, really difficult, hard questions. I mean, can you imagine? Listen, I've heard Conan is a wonderfully nice guy. I can't imagine Conan on the stand and a defense attorney going after him saying, why did you not protect my client by allowing mental health officials to come in and give him the help? Why did you stop this, Conan? I'm not telling you it's a good thing, but I'm telling you it will be a big thing that could eclipse the OJ trial in a way that we have never seen before.
It has to be bigger than the OJ if it's televised, simply because of the day and age we live in. OJ could only be on television. This is all over social media. It's huge.
Yeah. But I will say, if there is a way for the Hollywood system to keep a Hollywood brat out of jail, that will happen.
Yes, because this guy probably knows dirt. He knows a lot of dirt.
He will end up in some kind of hospital for the rest of his life. Some cushy hospital. I guarantee it. I would be shocked if he ends up behind bars.
Rob Reiner was a very politically active guy. And people who are politically active, even if they're good guys, and I'm not going to weigh in on Rob Reiner and what I think about any of that kind of stuff, but I'll just say, people who are close to politics often know a lot of dirt. And their kids sometimes can pick up some of that dirt and know it too. And I have a feeling everybody in Los Angeles would like to see Nick just kind of disappear. You're right, Marvin. Not violently, there's no euphemism there. Just go away. And that may not happen. He may get his day in court, and it may be very ugly for all of Hollywood in a way that nobody yet is truly covering. Good night, game over, drive home safely. Folks, this video is done. But before we all head home, we only ask one thing. Folks, as you get ready to head on out, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and share your thoughts, for a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Waste not that beautiful personality of yours. And folks, we would say as you get ready to head out the door, that it has been an honor to spend time with you, an attitude of gratitude each and every time that you elect to join together with us. Breaking bread and breaking entertainment, well, the industry. No, we like entertainment. It's the industry that irks us sometimes. Well, it was a good time. We hope you had a good time. Folks, until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.